John, how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you? How's it going?
I'm doing well. So just to be real, we know each other because you are somewhat local, Pottstown,
Yes.
Phoenixville, about 15 minutes away, and brilliant hip-hop artist, producer, and performer.
Thank you.
The first time I saw you, you were accenting another hip-hop artist named Anthony C.
Shout out Anthony C. Yeah.
And you jumped on stage, and it was one of those moments, kind of like when I first saw Anna Spackman, where I'm like, who is this? It's like, did he like get some major artist to like jump in and do a bit for him kind of thing? Because yeah, you that blew my mind. Just
I like
that
to catch
short-
people off guard every now
no,
and then.
you're incredible. So
Thank you.
I just want to talk to you about. I know you have something out, but we'll get to that.
Yes,
But I just want to get to know a little more about you. So tell me, fully introduce, your moniker, who you are, who you exist as an artist.
Well, I will say, I guess to kind of keep it short and sweet, I love
You don't have to.
music. That's true. I love music. I love people. I love connections. I love how music makes me feel when I'm making it, and I love how it makes people feel when they're listening to it. And I've been making music since I was about 10 or 11. Everything from playing drums at a young age at my church to DJing at 13 years old to writing poetry in like third grade. So like having all those elements tied together to have what I have now, I think kind of makes up Frostbyt. I listen to a lot of different genres. Grew up on, the black roots, right? R&B, soul, gospel. My mom, she was more of the smooth jazz, neo soul, Coltrane, Erykah Badu. And then my dad, on the other hand, he was the R&B that was like Bootsy Collins and James Brown and Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder, which is his favorite artist ever. And then he also got me into rap, but it's like the very early stages of rap.
Don't put down the early stuff, man.
Exactly. Curtis Blow, but he also introduced me to Arrested Development and Lauryn Hill. And then I think after that, I kind of took that and ran with it, and now we have the newer rap artists. You have Drake and Lil Wayne, and so it was kind of cool. I think he let me listen to all different types of music from what I remember as a kid. It would be Stevie Wonder, but it would also be Diana Ross and Ray Charles, but it would also be Toto and Steely Dan, and then one day it would be Bob Marley. Next day it would be, it's just so many. I think it was just, he wanted me to appreciate music for what it was. And he wanted me to ultimately run and see what I could do with it. And that's me as a whole.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but as someone who, I own a record store, and so I'm always thinking of, I listen to music very critically and think of how it exists as a, in its marketing and how you sell music. And I say all that because I can always tell when an artist hasn't heard enough music. And me and my wife, who's also a singer-songwriter, we were talking about someone we knew who I think they struggle with songwriting, and I think it's because they don't know enough music. And so as you're listing all that, because even, if you listen to the first De La Soul record, like they sample Steely Dan.
Which I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to do. I've heard a lot of De La Soul records, but like I saw a TikTok of somebody talking about De La Soul, and they were like, people don't get it. Like, you need to listen to like their earlier stuff to understand.
No, you do.
And I'm like, dang, okay.
Yeah, 54-year-old right here. Yeah, you do. It's just, there's nothing, I argue that there's nothing like the flow of the early guys, Chuck D, Boogie Down Productions, Plug One, Plug Two, like they just, Tribe, like, oh my God. And,
Tribe, yes.
I mean, Ice Cube is one of the greatest,
Yes.
like you listen to their cadence and you know these guys came out of rap battles that you were rapping for your life, and yeah, it's unbelievable.
Intense stuff. Yeah.
But no, it's amazing. And I've always wondered, I've known you for about 3 years now, but I've always wondered, where did the moniker Frostbyt come from?
I vividly remember I had this EDM phase in like middle school, and like all I wanted to do was
It lines up.
at that point in time, I had weird phases. Like I think elementary school, I was into like classic rock, so Doobie Brothers, and like my dad's like, okay, all right, and then slowly working my way up. Right, middle school was a little bit of rap, but it was once I discovered Daft Punk, that just changed everything from understanding how sampling works to how DJing works to music production as a whole. And then I worked my way to rap in like a little bit of middle school and a little bit of high school. So that's where that whole rap realm took off for me. And what was the question again?
Sorry, that's okay. No, where did the moniker Frostbyt come from?
The moniker.
You're like me. Once you start talking music, it's just like...
Yeah, exactly. I would say, yes, middle school, I was making nothing but electronic. It was just house music, and it was just instrumental, no vocals. And I was trying to post music on SoundCloud just for people to just listen and hear. And it was during the winter time, and I was trying to figure out, I had everything ready. I was like, oh, okay, post your artist name. I was like, oh, I didn't even think about my artist name. And I was like, John Coleman kind of sounds, it doesn't fit the role of what I was making. Yeah, exactly. And so I was just looking outside, and it was a snow day. I remember I had a day off from school, and I was looking, my brother was playing in the snow, my mom was shoveling, and I'm like, all right, it would be cool, because I love the winter time. And I was like, Avalanche, DJ Avalanche. Nah, all right. And I'm playing around with it. Okay, DJ Snowfall. No. DJ Negative Degrees. No. And I was like, DJ Frostbyt. And I was like, Frostbyt. I don't know. But that's as best as I'm going to get with the names here. So I'm like, all right, let's use Frostbyt and see how it goes. And if people start making fun of me and clowning me for it, then I'll change it. And I started marketing and advertising my name in high school, and of course, Frostbyt.
Of course, yep.
Frostbyt. Who calls him a Frostbyt? Blah, blah, blah. But I remember, I think there were 2 girls in middle school, and I was walking on by, and obviously I don't know how, but they heard the music, and they were like, "Hey, you're Frostbyt, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they were like, keep doing, I love,
that's
like,
awesome.
I guess they were into EDM at the time. And they were like, we love what you're doing. Like, keep going. And I was like, thank you. And I was like,
sticks.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I like the ring to it. And then I remember, I think a week after, I was talking with my grandmom. And I was like, Grandma, I know you've heard me make music, and I think I'm going to go with the name Frostbyt. And she was like, and I love her for this. She was like, Frostbyt. I love it. Whatever you're doing, just do it. I love it. And that just stuck. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, since you didn't take DJ Snow Day, that might be my my DJ name.
Go for it. That would be cool.
DAE,
DAE. Ooh.
SNODA, Snow Day. Anyway, you can take it if you want. But also still honoring the classic rappers, it falls in line, Ice Cube, Ice-T, Frostbyt, sorry about the mic. But anyway,
that's right.
We could talk more about this.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about your influences, but you've mentioned your dad, your grandmother, and again, you just showed me something very cool, and I was texting a friend about it, so I now know that you have a lineage in music. Oh, yeah. Do you want to show?
Yes, absolutely. This is the Coleman family album.
That's amazing. Take that to rapper just in case.
Yeah.
Sometimes
absolutely.
Sometimes those sleeves.
Of course. Yeah. It's pretty fragile. It's got a little,
Okay.
But
oh yeah.
This was my family's album. that they made on vinyl record. And I started, my friend got me into vinyl collecting about, I want to say, a year ago. And once I bought like record player, my uncle was the one who gave me this record once he heard that I had a record player. And this was something, I've never heard this before. I've always seen it in my family, but I've never had the time to like listen to it or have anything to play it on. And this is
Have you
so
not spun that?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
Say after we're done this, we throw it on the turntable.
I actually spun it for my mom and my dad because they haven't heard it in so long. Yeah. And it's just so cool because my grandmom passed away before I was born, so I never really I only got to see pictures of her, but I never really got to hear anything that was like remotely her. And my grandfather passed away about, I believe, a year ago, and it was just so weird to hear them on vinyl through the speakers, like they're actually like cool. Singing to me. It's so crazy. It's
very cool.
So that was the first time this was the first time I got to hear my grandmom and my granddad as young as they were. And it was just such a cool family memory. And I was like, you know what, let me bring it in and show Shawn because, record store, like this lines up.
No, actually, I reached out to, there's a guy in Philly named Max who used to own Brewtown Beats, and he is a connoisseur and historian of Philly area gospel and soul. And his first response was, how much? So he might be either looking for the master tapes right now and trying to reach out to you about how to get this thing reissued, repressed.
Yeah. I'm actually, my one friend just bought a new vinyl record player where you can go as far, it's pretty darn, it's not cheap, but you can go as far as stick a USB and record the vinyl record. And so I talked to her about it, and she was like, you know what? Because I was talking about sampling something from it.
You have to do that.
Yes.
You have to sample from your own family. That's pretty dope.
So she was like, yeah, I can just put it on a flash drive and I can send you the files to you, and you can just do whatever you do.
Or we can look for the master tapes because it was recorded at Future Sounds.
Future Gold?
Future Gold.
Yes.
So, we'll let Max do the hunting and find the master tape so we can...
Shout out Max.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let me see. We've talked about a lot of stuff here. All right. So let's get to work on your new album.
Yes.
I mean, came out in the spring, right? April?
Came out in May.
In May, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of heavy promotion, with the Bandcamp release
party here.
Yes, right here. Yep.
Which is really dope.
That was fun.
Tell us about it.
Oh man. Well, it's out. If you haven't got a chance to listen to it, please do. I feel like this is one of my one of the coolest records, albums that I've worked on. All stemming from so many different themes. There's some like religious themes on there. There's some like motivational themes. But I guess the main theme is what's your light looking like, which is like that's on my hat. And by the way, my online shop, Frostbyt store, is available now. So
we can buy the hat?
You can buy the hat. They have a lot of I had my friend Ethan help me out with a lot of the designs, and a lot of the apparel is catered to the new album. So like there's sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, all that good stuff.
Because I love the imagery. I love that hat. Yeah.
Thank you.
So okay, so you did not do a good job selling this thing. So I'm going to make you do what artists are terrible at, and sell me this record. Why?
Let's see.
I own a record store.
I gotta put my marketing hat on.
Yes,
all right.
exactly.
I would say this album is for people who feel like they don't know what their purpose is. And I know as a 25-year-old, I'm still trying to figure out what life is. Like I know what life is, but it's like, okay, how do I go about doing what I'm doing to the best of my ability to help others, to help influence others, right? That like inner light, how do I pass that on to somebody else who needs it? So that's really the main theme of this album. But if you like, I would say R&B, hip hop, A little bit of, there's a couple of like danceable records on there or songs on there. This is the album for
It's a
you.
banger, man.
I would definitely. But it's a lot of different influences. I listen to a lot of different types of music, different genres. So there's a little bit of everything, I think, for everyone. But yeah, I'm just excited that it's out. I've been working on this album for about, I'd say 2-3 years. And
So
then
you got the D'Angelo schedule.
yeah, pretty much.
D'Angelo Sade schedule.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, this is also, I mean, I didn't want to, whenever I'm making music or whenever I'm creating, I'd never want to rush the product. I know there's a lot of people that are like, dude,
No,
just,
we
just
literally
put
talking
it
about
out.
that.
Just
Like,
put it out.
you know,
And I'm like, I can't put it out.
Yeah.
I can't.
But
I have to.
let people soak in. You know, don't keep. You know, just like. I mean, I've been listening to your album since May, and like it's just multiple listings. You just like take it in and becomes.
Right.
So I'm gonna market you a little bit, as if I'm trying to sell your stuff in my store. So one thing I love about what you do is your lyrics are clean.
Thank you.
So, you know, a lot of people, unfortunately, when they think of hip hop, they think, oh gosh, you know, and truthfully, you know, as much as I love hip hop, you know, in terms of in-store play, when my store's open, I can't play a lot of it. And so I love that, you know, I can put your stuff on anytime. And you were in my store when I had your song playing, and customers, like legit customers that neither one of us knew, were like, what is this? You know, and
so cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And so, you know, it's lyrically, it is, you know, stuff that anyone can listen to. Grandma can listen to as well.
Right.
And it is, like you said, it's very positive and uplifting. And I know there's one track on there that my wife, like, she legit tears up when it comes on.
I think I might know which one that is.
I forgot which one it is.
Is it Cardinal?
I forgot. I think it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
I'm super impressed with how that song specifically, because I always, whenever I'm writing these songs, I go, all right, which one is going to be the specific songs that people are going to like? But Cardinal, and I guess I meant to make that a tearjerker, and I think that's honestly one of my, I think, best written songs. Yeah. Just because there were so many rewrites for that. It was just like, oh, how do I really hone into like that poetry sort of feel when writing for that song? Because it's just like it was so visual. Like I remember all the events that happened that day, and writing it down, I was like, oh my god! It was like I had to take a minute to just like, whoa, all right, man, this is heavy.
I love that you labored over it. I have lots of discussions about how music is made these days, and just there's an element of like of speed and just not not rewriting and not laboring over something, and like, this is how I feel in this moment. Done,
Right.
Boom. It's recorded. It's out. And you know, I've heard artists say it's like, you know, after touring with something or after listening to their own song, it's like, oh, I would have done that differently. It's like, well, yeah, take your time. So
Right.
it's very cool that you know, did rewrites and labored and just like, you know, that's very cool.
Yeah, I think and it's weird because when also writing that song, right, I'm talking about my grandmom, and I thought it was just super fitting how one of the themes on the album is like hope versus hopelessness, and like that constant push and pull of like, one day, okay, I can do this, and then the next day it's like, darn, geez, just I'm fed up with today, or I'm fed up with these people, I'm fed up how life is treating me. And so when Grandma passed, she was that like one engine that like kept me moving and kept me motivated, and she was a really spiritual woman in terms of God, Christian, you know. So a lot of what she taught me, I kind of really held on to, and it was just like, now that she's gone, my gosh, like what's gonna happen now? Like even the whole family was like, oh, what are we gonna do now? Because she was such a pivotal person in our lives, and I felt like writing that song really helped me kind of vent a little bit, because I feel like, you know, when we mourn, like there's different ways on how we do it.
Of course.
And I was the first time, I think, where it was somebody that was actually close to me. You know, when I hear like my friends go, "Oh, such and such died," I go, my condolences, right? But like when it's somebody who's really been weaved into our lives, it really hits different. And that's what you hear on the Cardinal record. Yeah,
that's very cool. Yeah. Wow. And so, wow, you made it real heavy.
Sorry.
Which, no, it's a heavy record. I wanted to go into the couple of technical and creative aspects, but one thing I love about this album is the sequencing. It is a very cohesive, just piece, like work of art kind of thing. And I know it's a very thoughtful record.
Thank you.
You should be very proud of it. With that said, is there, maybe it's the song you just talked about, is there a favorite song on the album?
Oh, man.
I know it's the worst question for any
That is
artist.
the worst question.
They're all your babies.
I can't.
If not,
You know, I'm the type of.
I felt like that was a trick question.
No. It's kind of crazy because I'm the type of artist. I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything, but I'm the type of artist who likes to listen to their work, not to like, oh, I made this, but like to actually hone in and go. I'm a perfectionist, so it's like, oh, this could have been mixed differently, or man, I could have wrote this lyric a little bit better, or darn, could I have said it a certain way? So when you say that, I'm also listening to like, man, this is the song on the album. And I go, no, darn, no, but I really said this. Man, I would say it is Disney World.
It's a great
Disney
song.
World. Yeah. If you know, you know. Just because it's got such I love dance music. I love house. People who know me know that I'm a huge like electronic dance music fan. And I was inspired by this one party that I was DJing for. It was like a 70th birthday party, and it was getting to like, you know, we had like everybody coming in, and then I played some smooth jazz for eating, and then when we got to the, you know, the dance floor, we got to the dance floor, and so I'm playing everything from like Stevie Wonder to Earth, Wind and Fire, and it gets to what is that band? Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down tonight.
It's Ohio Players, if I'm not
And
mistaken.
I've been playing it this summer, and I'm so surprised I don't know that's
Jungle Boogie. No, that's Cool in the Gang.
That's Cool in the Gang. But I was playing some Cool in the Gang too. Oh my gosh, it's gonna click. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, you're right. That is Casey
and the Sunshine Band. No,
For
you're
anyone
good.
watching,
It was gonna click.
it's early. I have
was
not
gonna
finished my
click.
coffee. You were like, a guy owns a record store and doesn't know there was. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, look how many artists you have.
Huh?
You want me to cut that out?
Please do. Yes. and we're back. Oh, Casey and Sunshine Band. Wait, no, is it? Okay, it sounds so similar to Jungle Boogie.
It is though. It's out. It might be in the same key.
I think it's the same everything. I think it's the same. It has to be like almost the exact same song. I keep hearing Jungle Boogie when you do it. Yeah. Anyway,
That would be a good mashup. No, now my DJing brain is clicking in.
DJ Snow Day.
DJ Snow Day. Yeah. Ooh.
Anyway, let's get
Yes.
back.
Sorry. Yes.
That's okay.
So it was Casey and the Sunshine Band. I think it was Boogie Shoes. It was one of those records. But I was playing Casey and the Sunshine Band back to back because I was seeing how people were vibing out to the music. And I was like, yo, some of these songs, like the extended version of these songs where back then, R&B disco, they just let it.
Yeah, they didn't know how to use the fader buttons. Like, it was seriously,
Exactly, yes.
it's Mighty Love by the Spinners.
Yes.
As much as I love the song, goes on too long. Like it's like.
But I love those songs like that because they're perfect mixable songs. But I a long story short, I saw how everybody was moving, and I was like, I need to make a song like that gets people moving, especially if I'm performing that song live and like I'm seeing that everyone's having a good time. It's like, all right, band, 1, 2, 3, and they just take it there. And so, yeah.
No, I don't want to cut you off, but when you were when you were talking about like your different influences in house and everything, I was gonna my music historian brain would click in because one of the things that Queen Latifah got a lot of crap for and got dropped from her label after her second album is because if you listen to those first two albums, there's house in there, there's like dance, like and that was we're talking 89, 90, 91, whatever when you had to be hard, and she was
Right.
but a lot of people, I remember, like people didn't take her seriously because her albums weren't just beats. She literally has a song on there on the second album that's a straight up like Chicago like house club song kind of thing.
Yes.
And it's great. And it's like, it just that's not where. So it's cool that, I guess we're at a point now where you can do that, but it's cool that you do that because
Right.
it's like that is not always something that's okay. It's like,
That's true.
hey, you're hip hop. You can't,
I mean, there's this cool correlation and connection with hip hop and disco.
Of course there is.
right?
Of course there
like
is.
you have Frankie Knuckles, who was like the pioneer of Chicago house back then, and then half of these rappers, right, like Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, they were in like these bands before they started to do what they do, disco bands, right? Before they started to go into,
Hardcore
rap,
yeah,
hardcore
yeah.
rap, right?
Yeah, and the early hip hop stuff, they were sampling, disco tunes,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Sugar Hill Gang, and yeah. So no,
Right.
there's, yeah, it's sometimes we put ourselves in a box, which is ridiculous because like, it's all our music,
Right.
And
Right.
we should be able to like intermingle it and use it as freely as possible.
Exactly. Have you heard of K Tronada?
No.
He is like the perfect example of like a fusion of R&B, a fusion of dance house, and a fusion of like rap, because the type of artist that he puts on. And I'm seeing him in Justice in November.
Nice.
So I'm mad excited about that.
I love when a musician can school me about music. That's
You
that's-
actually might
that's
have
dope.
a K Tronada record.
I probably do.
in this shop.
I probably do. I'll
Yeah.
figure out my inventory.
Really cool.
He's awesome. He's so sick.
So, are there any collaborations on this album, or people that you worked with, or just folks you want to shout out? And without them, this wouldn't have happened.
Oh my gosh. I want to thank that one black woman that I met at that Starbucks at Washington, D.C. I don't know her name because she wouldn't tell me. But she was a huge inspiration on this album in terms of I was in like a really dark place, right? And for me, as that energetic, happy guy, it really kind of tore me apart. I was like, darn. And, I'm in college, and so I'm trying to figure things out. And, darn, am I even going to graduate? Is this music stuff even meant for me? And I had this interaction with this lady who was just sitting, in Starbucks. And I don't know how the conversation started, but we just started talking. And she was telling me all of her... all the things that she used to do up until she was about, I feel like, not to judge, I feel like she was about maybe 80. She was really,
okay.
she was older.
Okay.
But she was just spitting me game on just like life and, to just ultimately keep pushing forward. And when our conversation was done, she was like, I don't know who you are. I don't need to know who you are. I don't need to know your name. But I just want you to know that I see this light inside of you, and I want you to, whatever you're doing, keep going with that. Keep pushing it, and because you don't know where it's going to take you. Yeah. And the fact that she could see that in me when I couldn't see that in myself, and I had no idea who this woman was, it just, no pun intended, but that like just clicked in my head, and I was like, whoa. That's deep. It might not seem deep to others, but to me, I was like, "Whoa, this isn't." And that's what really started to trigger the writing for that album. So shout out to her. I feel like she was like this weird guardian angel.
No,
you know,
yeah.
like it was
Universe
just
brings
like
those folks, and yeah, that's
it's
pretty
so
dope.
strange.
That's awesome.
So shout out to her. Shout out to who do I have on this record? I have John Bolds, I have Jack Connor, I have Foss Howe, I have Ethanol, Juicebox. Shout out to everybody on the record. I couldn't have done that without them. Everybody that I pick to play a part on this album did such a phenomenal job. I know there's it's really cool working with different artists because you don't know how they're gonna feel about certain songs. Like I'll send them a song and some artists will be like, oh, this is perfect. And then some, specifically Jack, I remember he was like, all right, I don't know what you're gonna do with my, guitar stems, but I know what you do, so I know it's gonna work. And when I sent him the finished product, he was like, oh, that's what you were going for. But it's always cool to just work with. I'm always trying to look for new artists to work with, because I learned something from them.
Yeah. And with that said, you produced this yourself, right?
I did, yes.
Nice. Okay.
All from, this is like my third home studio album because everything that I've put out has been from my house. Yeah. Engineered, produced by me, written by me, marketed by me, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah,
So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, the album I was telling you about, the Cecile McLaurin Salvant album, which currently is my favorite album of the year.
Oh, snap.
The studio she mentions is her home studio in Brooklyn, and when you hear it, it's like, how did you do this in your house? How'd you fit the upright bass in your house? Whatever.
Right. That's
but yeah,
insane.
doing a lot of things from your home. So my last question for you is, what do you want to do with this record? Like, what is the future? Again, as someone who sells music and markets music and books shows, it's like the pathway for musicians is a lot bigger than it used to be. Where it was simply get signed to a major label, get your stuff on the radio, things like that. Now, you can literally choose your pathway for what you want to do with your career in this album. So where do you see,
Wow. Well, we're definitely trying to get some shows running. Again, I'm independent, so I do everything by myself. So it takes time, but I know with that time, the results are going to show. So bear with me, y'all. I know everyone's like, when is this happening? When is this happening? It's going to happen. Including vinyl records and CDs. I'm going to make sure they're...
I wasn't even going to mention the vinyl thing because they're so expensive.
They are.
I'm
going to try and make it work. I always try and figure, if I can't do it, then I will let people know that. I'm just like,
yeah.
But,
I would love to spin your stuff here, but I never had the expectation and that's why we're both big fans of Bandcamp. Because,
right. Yes.
You can stream stuff and actually you get paid for it and you can sell your merch on
Bandcamp. Yes, please. Bandcamp is actually an exclusive offer on Bandcamp for the album. You get different alternative album covers, cool. Exclusive content, and you also get the album too. So that's what you're getting on the Bandcamp side that you're not getting with Spotify, all these other streaming platforms, right? So we want to make sure we keep it independent and that artists are getting paid because that's very important. And especially in this day and age, independent artistry is taking over. Yeah. Labels don't want that.
Just got to get you guys paid. So yeah, just to piggyback on what Frostbyt just said, Bandcamp is a streaming service and app and website where you can listen to independent music. You can purchase it. I know there are some groups that their merch table is on Bandcamp, and the artist gets the majority of the money, and every first Friday, what they call Bandcamp Friday, where the artist gets 100% of what you spent on their music and on their site, and that is unheard of these days.
Right.
So please support. Just support. But anyway.
Yeah, we're getting. So that's the one thing is making sure we do live shows, trying to crank out some physical media, of course. Trying to figure out how to get stuff on the radio. That's the interesting part, because it's so competitive, but I love it. I love the competition. So I don't know. I'm also trying to find different ways to get things out there that an artist typically wouldn't do.
That's how you have to do these things.
Exactly. But I'm always thinking, I'm always looking and seeing what people are doing. I'm like, I could do that a bit better. Or I don't know. I love doing street marketing because when I was in middle school, I used to, burn CDs, put them in my backpack, and just start handing them out. And so I just like doing that.
Yeah,
That's just it's just cool. It's just
I have
so
a
cool.
feeling we're going to be back to that because these days the algorithm is so frustrating. You can put out content like crazy, and it's like, oh, cool, 22 people like this. That's great.
Yeah.
Or someone, I'm sure you've seen this. I've had it with shows that I booked, whatever. Where like you do all the promotion in the world, and after the fact, 2 days later, someone's like, I didn't know that show was happening. I had no idea. It's like, oh, cool. For a month, every single day, I posted about this, and it's not their fault. It's just, So there's nothing like putting a poster on a window.
That's right.
Putting a poster on a pole, whatever, and we're just like, selling stuff out of your trunk, and it's like it's
every little bit counts.
I think we'll be heading back to that. But as far as the radio, we'll see if our friends at WXPN, see if I can get those guys to throw your stuff up there for an artist to watch.
Cool.
Got a couple.
WXPN does a lot of cool.
They do a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, I'll hit those guys up because John and Mike and I'm forgetting Jim, and see if they can get you at what's the end studio? They have the key sessions.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Anthony C. Shout out Anthony C. again. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He did one.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I'll hit them up. We'll see.
I have a question for you. Sure. What is your favorite song on the album?
Cardinal. Like hands down Cardinal.
Oh, wow. That was a fast answer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a beautiful song.
It is.
And it's weird to say that on a hip hop. And that's one thing that I find so fascinating about your record. There's very few hip hop albums that I say it's a beautiful record. Like there are so many that I love, but I rarely use the description of beautiful, and yours is, and that's really incredible.
I try. I love storytelling. I feel like the best albums are the storytelling ones. You can, and there's an order to it. That was, I think, the hardest part was trying to figure out what order I should put everything in.
Yeah. Sequencing is such an important art, and I think I will listen to a lot of records, and I'm like, okay, wouldn't have started with that. It's like, okay, you're making my head hurt. Like I like these songs, but these transitions are terrible. And,
yeah.
And we're also in the generation of folks your age, because some of them have worked here, and not understanding sequencing, and they'll put things on shuffle. I had this is the last thing I don't want to, but this is me venting. No,
all good.
I had a teenager working here, and they put on streaming Smashing Pumpkins' "Melancholy" and the Infinite Sadness, and it comes on, and it's some song somewhere in the album, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "Oh, I just put it on shuffle." I'm like, "No." Like the sequencing of this album is so essential.
Yes.
And just like I literally had to explain to this kid like that you listen to an album front to back in order. So, sequencing is extremely important, and I love that you recognize that and you took so much time with it.
I think that's why I put Cardinal at the bottom part of the album, just because it's like, okay, well, if you made it this far, you kind of deserve to hear the whole story and how things happened. Yeah. Which I think is pretty cool. So thank you for...
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my shop, and thanks for talking about your record. I love the album, and wish you the best with your career, I'll do whatever I can to help.
Likewise. Make sure you visit Forever Changes in Phoenixville, downtown Phoenixville. This is such an incredible record store. I've been buying... Half of my wallet has been...
Yeah, I feel bad.
No.
When you come in here, it's
no,
like...
I'm doing this to myself.
It's like, John, put that down. You're not buying that many records. But thanks, man.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you.
Exactly what I mean. I might have to go and beam on him. Yeah. I'ma throw my beam on him. Yeah. Had to shine my inner beam on him. Yeah. I'm about to let him know how to hit him with that glow. I might have to go and beam on him. Yeah. I'ma throw my beam on him. Had to shine my inner